Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a game between Serral and MaxPax. This is a game from the ladder, and in order to get this game I had to jump through a lot of hoops, meet certain requirements and bribe many Danish officials. Yet, here we are, MaxPax versus Serral on Persephone. MaxPax currently the highest rated Protoss in the world on Illegal. Serral currently the highest rated player on Illegal, as he has been for quite a while. Now there is a little caveat that I will make with MaxPax's rating, is that his Protoss versus Zerg isn't the highest level out of everyone, doesn't have the highest rating. Hero is a little bit higher rated in Protoss versus Zerg, probably meaning that Hero is a little bit better in Protoss versus Zerg, but I've been seeing some of MaxPax's play recently, and I've been quite impressed, to be honest. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. This is the Battle of the Titans in Europe. I feel like, yeah, it's such a beautiful setup, honestly, in Europe. You got your MaxPax, Clem, and Serral. One of each race. Currently the top 3 players in the world. Serral kind of the, one of the old boys. And then Clem and MaxPax as the new kids on the block. Although new kids, they've been here for 5 years as well. So I'm not sure if a new kid on the block is still really what I'd call them. Either way, triple hatch on the way here for our good friend Serral. Curious to see where this is gonna go. You have a triple nexus as well for MaxPax. Gets a second gateway in the wall. So fast third Evo chamber coming out for Serral. This has been extremely common for Zerg players, is to try and rush into +1 melee. Ooh. Wait a second. You can stare deep into the eyes of the robotics facility and then maybe understand what this is going to be. This is going to be a Robo into Twilight 4-gate Archon drop. Double Oracle. A couple of tumors already being targeted out. The Oracle is going to get recharged on right now. This is interesting. Let's see if MaxPax can do any damage. It's so hard against players like Serral. They have such good micro with their queen, such good movement with their queens. Look at that. Boom. Only gets a single drone there. Has killed just one. 4 minutes and 42 seconds in. I think this is like one of these crazy differences between Serral and the other players, is that he just doesn't lose any drones. It's like never. Like there's so little games in which Serral loses the game due to him losing like 12 drones in the first 4.5 minutes. Like it just doesn't happen. Like his consistency is freaking surreal. Templar Archives Forge coming in behind this. So we're definitely looking here at a 4 Templar Archon drop, right? Like it's, to me, this is clear as day. Like there's really nothing else that can happen here. We have a Roach Horn that's being added in. So Serral is getting the correct tech to deal with this. Prism did just get spotted as well, I think. So a couple of blind Archons might not even be that bad of a call. The Prism's going to move over towards the left side. We'll want to warp in those 4 Templar. Doesn't actually have enough gas. How is that even possible? Did he start something wrong? No +1 has started. Maybe he might steal too little gas from his... No. He's just going to need to wait for a little bit here. 5 minutes and 42 seconds. There we go. 2 extra gates coming in behind this, and we'll most likely see +1 and Immortal production start as well. This could also go into fast charge, and then a more Zealot Archon focus type of follow-up attack. So far, by the way, we have no roaches out. I think Serral, although he spotted the Prism with the Archons, he might not have actually seen it. And now he's going to be in a bit of trouble. It's just pure Queen here versus 2 Archons. Archons do want to piss off in that case, apparently. He's actually just holding with pure Link Queen. I did not know that was something that was viable. I've always been told that ideally you have some roaches out to deal with it. Much, much stronger. So Archons just kind of continue moving around the map. Don't want to take any damage, even on their shields here, by the way. As we're going to get quite a few links. This has been okay harassment. It really has been. There's no Overlords to shoot anymore. Serral extremely fast at pulling these guys back. This forward base is going to be in some serious trouble as well. Infestation Pit, Baneling Nest, all on the way. Second Evo Chamber as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish I had like one of these big, like these, like you hit it. Like the, I don't know what you call that, like a big bang? The big gong? You know, like the ones they have in like a monastery. You know, when it's time to go pray or meditate. I want one of these whenever it's late game time. You know, when a player just says, okay, you know what? We're not playing an aggressive game. It's a late game time. And right now, this is late game time, let me tell you. 2 Evos. Like, if Serral builds 2 Evos, oh boy, it's freaking late game time. Anyone else, you see the freaking Overlord speed, you're like, oh, it's probably going to fly the Queens over. Not for Serral, because for Serral, it's late game time. 86 workers, Spire on the way. He's going to be rushing into Broodlords. This is what Serral has been doing as of late. He truly believes in the power of the Brood again. So the fort base now goes down for MaxPax as an insanely late timing. But that's okay. We're not here to shame. We do not judge. We just observe. This is a late freaking fort base. And that is bad. We do judge. Psych. Alright. Prism with 3 zealots out here. You have a spore wall. This is a... Nah. How do you put it anywhere, can you? So the plan should be to drop like 2 zealots over here, and then you split them onto individual spores, and you hope to kill them, and then you come back in. So this spore wall is going to give you a lot of wiggle room. It's perfect. It actually is perfect. I love it. Oh, a couple of storms coming in right now. The zealots being in the main army is probably a mistake. Yeah, you gotta either pull them back or send them around. As the prism has decided to fly into the spores, ended up dying. And now there's 4 zealots here, but these things are gonna make short work of that. A couple more good storms coming in onto the side, as Serral is actually in a world of trouble. Or in a world of trouble, he's in a little bit of trouble at least. Zealots at the same time, hitting the fort base as well. There's no 5th quite yet here for Serral, who's fully relying right now on 8 gas to get him where he wants to get. 8 gas is also coming down here for our good friend MaxPax. And if Max just manages to clear a couple of these tumors, gets the setup that he wants, I think he's going to be just fine. Like, once you're mining from 8 gas, usually as a Protoss player, you're going to be in a decent spot. It's surprising to me that Serral believes he can always hold everything with Roach, Ling, Bane. Like, this is such an old school composition, and I'm surprised to still see it being used like this. I hadn't expected that. Oh, drone's gonna get, well, saved by the bell. 4 corruptors on the way already. This feels like watching Serral in like 2020 or something. You know, just rushing into Spire, rushing into Broodlord, saying, okay, the moment I get my first 5 Broodlords out, I don't think I'm actually losing the game anymore. And Serral tends to be the only player that can do that, because he's the only Zerg player that has figured out a way to take fights against Protoss that are cost efficient once Broodlords are out. I don't know how he does it, but his micro is actually insane. His evaluation, his analysis before taking fight is always spot on as well. Like, he knows which fights he's going to win, he knows which fights he's going to lose. These zealots here are gonna get caught by the Baelings. Nice little trap. Zealots go down. Baeling count here defensively is extremely high, by the way. Arcane count is also quite decent. And don't forget, we have 5 corruptors out on the map already. So there is some supply that isn't really being used right now. We have an Overseer making its way across. Like, I think if you manage to kill this 5th base as MaxPax, you're in a good spot. And then all you really need to do is fight off creep. Like, you don't need anything else. Just be off creep. Try to take a fight off creep, and we might be cooking. Like, Serral feels so comfortable, though, with an army like this. Here we go, okay. Pulls back. It sometimes feels like he's zoomed out, the way that he moves stuff. Like, it is crazy how quick he is at pulling back portions of an army. This was a bad start of a fight, though. MaxPax with a big body of units in here. As these Immortals in the back dealing a lot of damage as well. Don't walk through your own storms. It would be a huge blunder. Okay, storms are dealing quite a bit of damage against himself. And now the Broodies show up. Serral has survived for long enough. And MaxPax is going to kill this 5th base and pull back. The Zealots ideally move towards the right side. Okay, this makes sense. Maybe he could go for a pickup still. No, he can't. Yeah, can't pick up 2. It's okay. Base did go down, and instantly we see Tempest production. And I honestly believe that MaxPax played the perfect responses here. So the early game wasn't all that hot, but afterwards, I really like what he was doing. He basically told Serral, you can have your late game, but you're going to have your late game in a poor position. You're going to have your late game off of 4 bases. You're going to have your late game without any creep. All of that needs to be re-established. So MaxPax accepted the offer, did not go for an all-in push with Archon Immortal. He stayed on the edge of creep, tried taking good fights, then killed the 5th base again. Now, there is a 5th base that is done right now here for Serral, but that is extremely late. 12 minutes into the game. Natural is being mined out. Main is being mined out. Even the 3rd is going to start looking pretty weak soon. 3 of these patches are about to disappear. Now we have 2 army splits here coming in. And I am so freaking curious what MaxPax is going to be doing. Because he has full control right now of the map, obviously. Like, there's no way that Serral can move out and go kill stuff. It's just going to be tough as hell. Tough as nails. Absolutely. So that's something we just need to keep in mind. Double Nexus. You know, in these types of situations, where a Zerg player is obviously not playing for many bases early on, but just for 5 bases, and then eventually going to a 6th, I think the correct call is actually to take this gold. So this base is a base you're going to take later on anyway, most likely. But the gold will be a base that will need to be contested. And if you, I think this is something that Protoss players don't do accurately enough. It's like you see that there's nothing that Serral is doing here, right? Like he's not going to be moving out soon. He's not even taking his 6th base. He's not even taking it, like he's not taking his 7th anytime soon. It's just not going to be possible. He's staying very compact. So you don't actually want to trade into this. You just want to stay at a distance and you want to take bases baiting him out. Because Serral's plan, obviously here, is going to be to eventually still mine the entire map. Serral just blocked off like another 30 minutes in his calendar. That is what he did. This is a sick move, by the way. Holy cow, I love this. I freaking love this. Banelings are not getting the connection on the Templar that they want. Storm needs to be respected nowadays. Zoning to extraordinaire. As a couple of big fungals coming in. I think this is almost recall worthy, but I could be wrong. Storm! No Storm. As Tempest still shooting from a distance. I always feel like the key number of Tempest is about 6. I also feel like MaxPax's worker count is very high for wanting to continuously fight. Zealot Run By comes in, is going to maybe get a couple of workers, but we already have a pre-split that's going to be capable of dealing with that. Yeah, I really think that if you're, like, you don't want to fight into someone that is 5 base. Like, there's a reason why Serral is okay with sticking to 5 bases. It's because we're just going to keep an eye on this. Right now, it's 10k to 16k. Oh, what the hell? This is a rare misclick. He just lost 1.5k of roaches for no reason. That's a very rare misclick out of Serral. But yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on this, right? 17k to 10k. This is going to be one direction from here on out. And I'm not talking about the 5 British boys. I mean, this is going to go into one direction only. It's going to be in the direction of the resources on MaxPax's side going up. And on Serral's side also going up, but less fast, I guess. This was not one of my better stories. Okay. What do we have here? 14,000, 18k. Already a 4k gap right now. Ultra Cavern on the way as well. 3 more Tempests coming in, which I think is very sensible. So this is another thing. If you're staying such high worker count, I really believe you should be expanding more aggressively and taking these outside bases. If you actually want to fight, you can do that. Do that with a lower worker count. Let's say 65, 64. Because that is pretty much what Serral is doing here. Like, he's not that low, but he's on a pretty low worker count, and as a result has a pretty strong army, right? Ooh, we're gonna get a big fight here. I think this is a mistake. Do we have a recall available? The answer is gonna be yes. Comes pretty late though. 16.3 against 19, and where the difference was 6k before, it now only is 2.7. Is that correct? I think that might just be correct. Recall is not available on this mothership either on the other side of the map. Zealots are trying to run in further forward. Dude, this is just pure chaos. This is actually pure chaos. I don't even know what MaxPax is thinking right now. I think MaxPax wants to be very aggressive. I just don't think he can be. Not having a Templar here is a rookie move. It's going to cost him this base and a lot of cannons. And also a stronghold on the map, which is something that people tend to underestimate how important that is. Just to have like a spot to call your home. A place you can go back home to. It's actually very big. It actually is very big. And right now, Serral, look at this. Yeah, little 6 base. Little 6 base over here. He's still eyeing this thing. I think MaxPax should be eyeing this thing right now. He absolutely should. Boom. Like the moment, imagine a world. Imagine a world with 20 cannons and 15 batteries on this gold. I mean, that is 100% worth it, right? Because from here on out, you can maybe even shoot at this. You don't have to. But defensively, this is a sick position. Like, how many minerals are you getting with that? 3... 4 of 1800. Man, I can't count. 3 of 1800, 3 of 900. That makes a lot of sense. So 2700. And about 6k minus 600. I can't do math. 54. Okay, it's a lot. So you can lose a lot of cannons here for it to still be worth it. And then you get the gas, which tends to be one of the resources that you need the most as a Protoss player. It's gonna be like 8k or something. 8100 minerals you get from here. That's a lot of cannons. That is more than 30 cannons. And I don't think you need 30 cannons to defend this. And it's also money that you take away from the opponent, right? Which is also important. It's maybe one of the most important things. And I think on a map like Persephone, you're just forced into taking. Like, you have to. Like what is this? What does this defend? It defends this lane, right? But if you have this base over here and you have 20 cannons, it also defends this lane. I guess maybe a run by onto this base eventually would suck, but that's a problem for later in that case. But he's now going to build cannons in the middle of the map, which I actually really like as well. I don't really like. I don't mind it. You're going to need a nexus with it so that your batteries are a little bit stronger, but there is no real incentive for Serral to push into this, right? There just isn't. Like, Serral can push into this whenever there's no one there. But he doesn't need to, because there's no advantage. MaxPax is not getting middle of the map bonus, you know? Your Tempest now shoot 4 times. Whoa, that's crazy. Ooh, this is bad. This is a really bad fight, actually. Way too far forward. Absolutely not necessary. And a resource lost now. 3k in favor of Serral. As I said, this is one direction. Absolutely one direction. Because it used to be 17k for MaxPax, 12k for Serral. Now it's 26,000 for MaxPax lost. And 23,000 for Serral lost. Like, these numbers move fast. They absolutely do. More oracles show up as well. Let's take a look at this this setup. Where's our mothership? Oh, right, it died. The mothership is kind of the key, you know? Without the mothership, it's going to be very tough. Almost impossible. Because you need to be capable of being in 2 locations at once. And the army that Serral has set up on is what? 6 Ultralisk? Which is quite decent. 11 Broodlords. 6 Corruptors, 9 Infestors, 1 Viper. If you're a Zerg player and you're capable of writing, write this down. Okay? Here, a little notebook. I feel like most Zerg players are not capable of writing. Do like the cave drawing. You have like a pen and a paper. Like draw the man with the spear. Man with the club. Energy ball. Man with the gun. Nice storm there on the spores. Zoning these spores away. I don't know what it does. Same time this being... So this is why Serral, by the way, was playing so compact. So you see, he tries to take the 2 outside bases and he just cannot defend them. Like, this is not defendable for Serral and this is not defendable for Serral. But it also means that Serral can't really attack it because they're just too far apart. And this is what abusing mobility is all about. This is why you should take your opponent's bases that they can't defend. It's actually very key. Very, very key. I would have loved to see a revelation onto this, by the way. Love to see it. Right now we see a couple of probes moving in here. The question still remains, of course. Even if MaxPax takes a base like this, does he ever get the trades that he needs to? Like, right now we have a 6k army. He can rebuild this once. We probably have enough resources for another rebuild afterwards as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we're right about. So there's going to be 3 more armies like this, right? So that's about 12. Yeah, each time is going to be 12k. So it's like 36,000 extra resources lost still. that he has. Oh, this is going to be a bad fight. There's not enough Immortals in this army. All the Immortals are on the other side, I'm pretty sure. As these Ultras are just going to start showing up right now. They start freaking ravaging this. Oh, this is such a one-sided affair. Tempest also being blasted by the Corruptors. Not correct. Absolutely not correct. It saddens me to see. But in a way, it's kind of cool to see Serral back in charge with the Brutes. Because Brutes were so weak that for a while they weren't really viable to play. But nowadays, because they're, you know, they got a bug fix, aka a big buff. They're extremely powerful again. And they're hard to play against. The Broodlings still are extremely weak, but the initial impact comes quite fast. Look at that. They're rolling out of the Brutes. Here we go. We get a Neural onto one of these Archons. That is frustrating. We get a Revelation as well. Archon is gonna get eaten. 35,000 to... Actually 36,000 to 26,000 right now. And MaxPax not even capable of mining from this base at the moment. Left side base still going unchecked, but also 0 mining there. This base I think is defendable. Absolutely. Here come the Brutes. These Brutes are being pretty far forward. And look how slowly but surely... oh, I love this. Look at that, using the healing zone on the Ultras. That is the first time I see this. This is a great pool party, boys. A healing retreat for these Ultras. Oh, a couple of Neurals coming in onto the Archons. Once again, MaxPax fighting away from cannons and batteries. It's just kind of gonna get ripped to shreds. This is even without Ultras, by the way. Look at that. A fight without the Ultralisk. I don't know if Serral has forgotten about them or is like, you know what, I think my air units can take care of this. You gotta give the boys a day off too, you know? Let boys be boys. In the healing pot. Oh yeah. Broodlord's gonna push forward, cancel this base. Serral's mining from the gold. I'd love to see some static defense on that gold as well, but I don't even really think it's going to be necessary. 44,000 resources lost against 31,000. It is such an insane skill that he has. When it comes to these late game armies, like, he just knows exactly what to do. He always, like, the Ultras are here. Like, they're always ready. He's just always in the right spot with the right units. In other Zergs, they're often in the right spot, but the wrong units. You know, they get the Broodlords into the Tempest and the Immortals, or the Ultras into the Immortals. But Serral, he's always there. And he's always correct. Now these Ultras are going to start ripping through the cannons here as well. I mean, this is not a good look here for MaxPax. Getting completely destroyed. He recalls back home. The second time that this base has been saved by the recall. Archon Immortal. Are we gonna get some split off towards the left side? I mean, these two Immortals are kind of awkward. And slowly but surely, Serral's army is also growing, by the way. His worker count is diminishing. He doesn't care as much about mining as much. He says, okay, we're cooking. And to be honest, I do believe that he is cooking. Ling Runby comes in, gets a couple of probes, runs away again. Same thing happens on the other side, except with a base. I do not know if there's actually a way in which you can beat Serral in a straight-up engagement. Like, you need the Immortals in the army. You need the Tempest to have the range advantage. Like, what is the manner in which one should go about it? I don't know. I think outmining Serral is probably the most... is really the only solution that I see. Because he just doesn't lose fights. Carriers are not viable. We've seen that in the past. Tempest Void Ray. I wouldn't mind maybe having some Void Rays in this force. Like once you get to really low supplies. The extra Archons just don't contribute so much. Oh, here we go. A couple of Brutes are being taken out. And here come more and more feedbacks as well as some zoning storms. These storms last a long time. I think Serral is underestimating that. So these Brutes, they're taking a lot of freaking damage right now. Temp is still staying alive. This was honestly the best fight that we've had so far. And it's mainly because none of these units were there. Like, half of Serral's army wasn't really in the battle. Like, this was okay for MaxPax. The first okay fight that MaxPax has had. And that's because Serral forgot about a very significant portion of his force. About 35 to 40 supply was just missing on the other side. As he's going to teleport across the ridge. This base gets taken out. But I mean, what do you want to do? What are you going to do about this? 54,000 to 41k. Serral mined the gold. Serral's going to mine the left side base. MaxPax is going to mine everything on his side. You know, he'll finish his own plate. He'll finish what's on his own plate, but Serral is out there, man. He's hunting extra. Like, he's opening the fridge. You know, like, Serral, what are you doing? Like, I'm still hungry. Serral, no. You still have so much money. He's like, I don't care. You know, opens the fridge. There's a bottle of ketchup and just blasts it in his own mouth. Those freaking bananas. Throws it on the floor. Serral want more. Yeah, he just takes everything, man. Doesn't let you have it at all. This guy's insane. 5 ultras on the left. So rumbyes are going to be a thing of the past. I think having 1 corruptor here is also cool. Yeah, killed the prism. I mean, he didn't know there was going to be a prism, and there hasn't been a prism in like 5 years. So it would have been crazy if he had it, but it probably would have been correct. I'm expecting a single corruptor move towards the left side now. That would be the most Serral. Oh, actually, there's spores here. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, warp into on top of an ultra? Serral's already pre-splitting into the main base, but this thing is empty, so it's pointless. I mean, MaxPax is not even maxing out at this point. He's gonna move on the map. And so far, every single time he's moved on the map, he's taken an awful fight, and I think we're continuing that trend. Absolutely. Couple of storms on the corruptors is not gonna be good enough. Time warps are absolutely destroying, and GG gets called as Serral wins this epic late game here on Persephone against MaxPax.